I've been told things like, you need to stay in your marriage for your baby's sake. Just stay there and pray. God is gonna do it. You know, marriage is forever. You don't break up. If you break up, you go to hell. Just take it like a woman. Take it. You know, a woman, you're supposed to be strong. Oh my goodness. You know, hold it inside. Oh yeah, pray. Hello everybody, yay, welcome back to my channel. What's wrong with me? I don't know. Anyways, grab my tea here. So you're welcome back to my channel. Yay, I'm happy that you get to be here and listen to me mumble, whatever, speak. So yeah, so actually before I start, I want to say I'm sorry if the lighting is not the greatest, because it's actually like almost midnight. It's like 11:54 p.m. and I've been waiting for my baby to be sleeping throughout the day so I can like record during the day and stuff. And man, yo, it's a struggle because lately he doesn't want to cooperate, so I have to go around and drive and do things. So I've decided, you know what, he's sleeping, it's nighttime, everything is quiet, there's no like mommy, so let me just sit down on my bed on my favorite spot and then just, you know, do this video. Because yeah, I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it. So yay. So I'm gonna be talking about my relationship breakup. So for those of you who don't know, I started this channel when I was married, and it's something that I've been wanting to do like for a long time, and then finally I decided, hey, you know what, let's do it. Let's just, you know, record our journeys and stuff. And I mean, like, it was fun. Like, you know, I personally just love like seeing awesome couples out there, and then, you know, some of them are like really good and they have good tips and stuff, and it's just fun to see people excited and happy and things like that, you know. So he was like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. So we started the channel and everything, and everything was okay, everything was good. I wasn't really like vlogging out everyday life or anything like that. And then things got really crazy after I got pregnant. Now, before I go into details with this, I know some people are gonna be like, oh, maybe it's because he wasn't ready for pregnancy or like start family and stuff. No, we were both on the same page. We both decided we were gonna do it. I had like 4 miscarriages. Yeah, so yeah, we were both actively trying actually and stuff like that. So we're on the same page, and we decided, you know what, we're ready to start a relationship. I mean, to start a family. Things were okay. I mean, things weren't perfect. Like, I know every couple's like there's always argument. There's always argument and things like that, but you know, like, I used to be this kind of person that would like literally ignore red flags. Because for me, I was like, you know, when I love somebody, I love big, man. I go in with my whole heart. It's like my head is not working. My head literally not work. My heart is just like, yes, Jemima, you got this, girl, you got this. And I'll literally be ignoring like red flags, you know. And I used to call this, I still call it that, like having a messiah complex. I just had this messiah complex, you know. It's like, when, like, you know, I'll see a red flag into somebody, I'll be like, you know what, bro, I love you, I got you, we'll fix this, you know, like, I'm here. We'll fix this. I'm like, Jemima, you are nobody's, you're not a messiah. You can't fix people, you can't save people. Only Jesus can do this. So I did a lot of red flags and things like that. But you know, like, things weren't bad, things weren't crazy, things were okay, like normal things and things like that, like things we were working on and things like that. And then when I got pregnant, when I found out I was pregnant, that's when things kind of shifted. I guess maybe it's like maybe reality just hating, I don't know. But things just went like from 4 to like 100, like 1,000 even, and like really really crazy. So pretty much, I mean, it wasn't a healthy relationship anymore. It became extremely abusive, like ridiculously abusive. My anxiety level went super crazy. It just wasn't good. On top of it all, when I was pregnant, throughout my entire pregnancy, I had something called gravidarium hyperemesis, where literally it's like you have like morning sickness throughout the day. Like literally, I threw up until I was 8 months pregnant, like 8.5 months pregnant. So pretty much I was sick the entire time. I had to go to the hospital and get IVs every day. They had to, like, you know, poke me and stuff. And so on top of that, I was also dealing with, like, you know, like the abuse at home and the stress that I was going through on top of being pregnant. And, you know, like praying and hoping that, oh, you know, things will get better, things will change and things like that. And things did not change. They just didn't change. They just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I realized, you know what, I can't. I mean, it's one thing if it's just you, if it's just me, that is like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna screw my life up, my life is over anyways, I'm just gonna stay there and then just die in this marriage. But I was like, it would be, as a mom, the worst thing, the meanest thing for me to just bring my son into something like this and then let him witness something like this and then let him see those things and then grow up and do the same thing. And I was like, just the thoughts of it just made me feel like before I even had a baby, it just made me feel like I was the worst mom on earth, like the most horrible mom ever that ever existed. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I've waited for so long to be a mom. I have, you know, lost so many babies, and finally this one is here and I don't want to ruin it. I was like, God, like, I remember before going to bed every night, even till today, I just always pray, I'm like, God, please let my son not, you know, grow up to be a good man, loving, respecting, caring, like God-fearing. Please, I'm like, God, please, like, no abuse whatsoever. Let's just let him grow up to be so gentle and, you know, and so caring. And that was like my biggest fear, that my baby would actually grow up and then do, or like, you know, see those things and think, oh, it's okay, it's normal, like, that's how you talk to mommy, that's fine. And I mean, despite all of that, I was still hoping and still praying that things would change, that you know, God would do a miracle and things like that. Up until I was going to have my baby, then I realized this is not going anywhere. This is not gonna happen. Not gonna go into details, but I'm just, you know, like, there's been times where I have to drive myself to the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital in labor because, you know, like, I couldn't, you know, like, he wouldn't take me, or he was too busy playing video games, or don't disturb me, blah blah blah, or, you know, not home till like 3 in the morning anyways. So, you know, that's when I realized, okay, Jemima, you're alone in this. You are, whether you like it or not, this is you and this baby. And so I was still like, okay, God, well, if this is your plan, literally, I don't know what to do. I have nowhere to go. I had to stop working throughout my pregnancy because it was a risky pregnancy and I was so sick. So I literally had no money, no nothing. I was like, okay, you need to start planning. Like, you need to give this baby a better life. Like, what are you gonna do? You don't just walk out of the marriage and then have no roof over your head, no jobs, no education whatsoever. Like, what the heck are you gonna do? So I started thinking, I started planning in my head, and I started talking with my mom and just being like, I need help. Like, can you come and be here with me so I can go back to school, graduate, and then get my myself a good job, you know? Like, that's how I started planning. And then with my mom, we started doing the visa process and everything and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, praying and hoping, okay, God, just just let this whole thing just, like, you know, like, be good and all that. And So it was time for me to have the baby. Horrible labor, by the way. I get to share that. And I had the baby, and as soon as I had the baby, you know, I was left at the hospital. Literally, it was like baby out, and then he left. So it was me and the baby at the hospital. I had a C-section. Mind you, I had a C-section. I could not get up and go pee by myself, and I had to somehow magically get out and pick up the baby, and it was insane. I am so grateful. God gave me an amazing team of nurses. Oh my God. These nurses were incredible. They would literally take the baby and feed him so I could sleep, or like they would, I have no words. I have no words. Like, you know, like imagine just me being in labor for 4 days. I was already exhausted. My body was done, completely done, and the baby was tired. And so by the time I had this baby, I was in so much pain. I can't even begin to describe the amount of pain I was in. And these nurses saved me because I was alone. I remember just breaking down in the hospital room, and then the one nurse came in and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I held my son and I just held onto him, and then I just prayed. I said, "God, you said that you have plans to you have good plans for me, you know, plans to see me, you know, being successful and happy and not to harm me." And I was like, please, you gave me this gift, please help me protect him, like, you know, help us, just help. That's literally all I could just say, is just, God, just help. I got home after the baby. Again, I didn't have help. I wasn't healing properly from my C-section because I was doing everything I was not supposed to do. I was driving around, picking up the baby, doing laundry, cooking, doing everything alone by myself. My mom was still waiting for her visa, so it wasn't until a couple months later that my mom arrived. I think my baby was like 3 months when my mom arrived, and like, yeah, 2.5, 3 months, and she came, and I've enrolled in school before she came. And so when she came, I was just like, okay, Mima, you got this. Like, I know you're not recovered, but you got this. You have to fight. You have to fight. So I literally gave my mom my baby, and I went back to school. And man, it was hard. Yo, it was hard. I would literally be like hiding in the bathroom and crying because my C-section scar actually was hurting so bad up until 6 months, 6-7 months. I was supposed to have another surgery to fix because I did have like really bad scarring, and also having endometriosis. Like, things just went wrong, man. Doctors were like, you need to stop school, you're gonna have a mental breakdown, you're going to literally be like, go mad, because my relationship was still terrible. My mother was in the house, and then she was seeing me going through hell, like, you know, like me being called names. My mom would literally be in the house, and he would walk in the house and then start shouting and screaming. This is not something that I'll make up. Like, my mom witnessed the whole thing. And then so I'll see my mom, you know, like as a daughter, like just seeing your mom being so hurt and not being able to do anything, because I was like, okay, you know what, I don't really have a choice right now. I just have to focus and fight. I got this. I can do this. And so I did. It was hard. I was like, I'm not gonna give up. I can't stop. I can't quit. I gotta go. And I did. Oh my God, you guys, the day I wrote my last exam, oh, God is so good, I'm telling you. I wrote my final exam and I went home. My mom looked at me and she goes, how was it? And I said, I'm done, Mama. I did it. I made it, Mom. I made it. I'm done. And she just held me. And then I remember I was putting like some music, and we're just like dancing, like, you know, some good African worship song where you can shake your booty, like, you know, properly. And we did and stuff, and I went, you know, to bed, and I had my baby, and I looked at him and I said, God, you indeed work in mysterious ways. And I was like, okay, this is not over. This is not over. I still need to, you know, now I needed to find a good job, like, well, Even if it's not good, I need to find a job, anything at that point. And you know, I started looking for internship and stuff. And I remember that I used to work for this organization, I'm not going to say the name. I used to be a translator for them. And so I called and I was like, hey, like, you know, like, I'm one of your translator, like I've had a baby, I went back to school, and now I have to do a practicum, and I'm wondering if I could do the practicum with you guys. And they were like, oh yeah, like sure, like come in, we'll talk in tomorrow. And I went and talked to them on the spot. They were like, yeah, you can start your practicum. I was like, praise Jesus. Okay. So then I went, started the practicum. It was amazing. Long story short, man, this was like a miracle, because there was somebody that was already doing the job that I could have potentially been doing. And I was like, oh man, I love this place, I want to work here, but there's no position and stuff. So day 1, day 2 or 3 of my practicum, the lady that was doing the job that I wanted quit. That happened. I got called in. They're like, we know you're doing your practicum and everything, but hey, this practicum is now turning literally into like an interview. So I pretty much had like an interview for weeks. You know, I was still a student and stuff, and so, you know, I was like giving 100%, just be like, God, please keep me here. And you know, did that and stuff. And long story short, I got the job. I was like, yeah, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. Okay, let me just rewind. So anyways, when I graduated school, I had some savings and stuff, and so I decided, you know what, while I'm looking for a job, I was like, things got to a point where my mom came to my room one day and she said, you're done. She said, you're done, pack your things. You know, she was like, you know, this is not the life that I wanted for you. And anyways, a lot happened already, and yeah, so we're done. And I said, yeah, Mom, I know that we're done. I was just trying to plan, you know. And I was like, I found a place and everything, so let's just move. And so we did. It was a very difficult move, because again, I had to move out, you know, everything alone. When my mom was watching the baby, but it was okay. It's okay. Yeah, so we left and we found our own little place. You know, it was hard at first, you know, the struggle, man. Like for the first couple weeks, you know, we had to like sit down on the floor. Thank God there's carpet. I didn't have, because I left the house, I didn't have anything. I didn't take anything. The only thing I took was my bed, my clothes, my baby's crib, his clothes, and the spare bed for my mom. Done. That was it. So everything else I had to buy from scratch. Kitchen, like everything else, like I had to get from scratch. So, you know, it's like, of course you had to like put money where like the priority is. So like at first, like I didn't have like a couch and stuff, so we just sit on the carpet. But it was fun. I miss that house. I love it. You know, it's like you look at it and then you look around and then you see your struggles, and you know, little by little things started coming in. It's like getting like a little couch in here, you know, like a little dining table, like little things. But it was fun. It was a like safe place. Like I was looking forward to come home. I would come home and I go straight inside, and my baby loved the place. That's where he took his first steps, man. Like so many emotions. I'm just like anyways, so yeah, so this is kind of how things went down. We're not like, you know, like, oh yeah, we're buddies or whatever. No, but I have my son full-time. I've had him full-time since I have him all the time. There hasn't been any interest in wanting to take him for a couple hours or wanting to come and visit. So I'm the only person my son knows. He only knows mommy, doesn't know anything else. It's so funny. He would call close, like if I have like some friends that I'm like close with, like some guy friends, he calls them mommy. I'm like, oh gee. I guess he doesn't know, you know, the difference between mommy and daddy, because he doesn't have that in his life. So obviously everything is just mommy all the time. So so yeah, we're just doing our own little journey. I am taking care of my baby. You know, I have my family, so I shouldn't say like alone. Like I have my family. We don't get to see each other a lot, but when we do, and it's amazing. My son is in love with my dad. He loves him. He loves my little siblings. Like loves them to bits. His favorite auntie right now is Dance. Yeah, he just loves her. It's been so hard on him lately because like, mommy, I want Dancer, but we can't go there and see them because of Corona. So that's kind of like a little bit of what happened. I don't know if I've touched everything, but I've kind of tried my best to just, you know, like I said at first, like I don't want to come here and just be like throwing shade and just be like, oh, this person was horrible, that person was horrible. That's not what I'm trying to do. I was just trying to explain, you know, what happened, kind of, and stuff. One of the reasons why I want to actually talk about this is because I actually was ashamed of being like in an abusive relationship and not talking about it and not saying anything about it. I don't even know how to explain it, like, because you know, like the stigma and everything that happens, and then you know when something ends, like people will just like throw shades at you or just be like put the blame on you and stuff like that. And I was so ashamed. Like I was just like, you know what, Jemima, like come on, like this is not your first time, like you've done this before, like how could you find yourself in something like that again? And like how are you so stupid? Like you need to start loving people with your head. Like what is wrong with you? You know, so many things are going through my mind and through my head. And being a single mom, I was just so ashamed of just being like the whole thing and just like not being able to stand up for myself, or not being able to recognize flags and recognize, you know, like just the bad stuff and just protect myself. I was ashamed that I wasn't able to do that. I was also ashamed that I was just ignoring some of the flags that I, you know, was seeing. I guess pretty much I was just ashamed of being in love, man. Like, because I'm like, okay, you gotta be in love, but you can't be stupid. So I was ashamed of that, and I just didn't even talk about it. And I guess it's something that I struggled with for a long time, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I came to the realization that we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am, oh man, Lord have mercy. I am so unperfect that it's not even funny. Yes, I am not perfect, but just coming down to realizing that, you know what, despite all my imperfection, yeah, God loves me, and he loves me for who I am. And I just, you know, when something happens, you just gotta like learn from it instead of just being ashamed and hide, and just learn from it and then take the good and then move on. And so I guess I've just kind of like been working on myself and just like getting out of that, like, you know, all the stigma and all that kind of stuff. And also speaking up. Actually, that's another big reason that I want to talk about it too, is like speaking up. Like so many people, so many women are sitting in marriages where literally they're suffering, they're dying slowly, but they can't speak up because the stigma and the fear of being like single, like divorced, and it would kill you. Let me tell you. Yo, I didn't know. You know how people say that heartbreaks is like when you're hurting, like when your heart aches, like from like a love thing, like you physically hurt. I didn't know that until like my chest, like oh my god, I just felt like there was people stabbing me in my chest, like an elephant is sitting. It was so bad. I go to bed and every night with chest pain, and I'm just like, what is happening? What's going on? I just, you know, was ashamed of speaking up and like talking about the abuse, talking about all like the name callings and things like that. And I remember one day just sitting in my room and just remembering what I did. I think it was a couple years back on my birthday or on Christmas. I went to my room and I cut up like, you know, like little paper heart shapes. I cut it and I wrote down on it every single names I have been called. I wrote them all down. Like, I'm talking like all the names, like from bitch to cunt to fucking idiot to disgusting. Like, I wrote everything down, and then I taped them all over in the bedroom. And then he came in and then saw it and lost it, and he's like, take it down, blah blah. And I was like, oh. So just think about it. You can't stand to see this. Well, imagine this. This is what is in my heart. This is literally what I sleep and wake up to. It doesn't go away. I don't get a break from it. This is what's in my heart. This is like what's in my head. This is what's there. So can you please stop? And I remember just thinking back about that day, and I'm just being like, you know what? I need to like speak up, because one of the reasons I'm saying this is because in my first marriage, yeah, I didn't know that I was being abused. I honestly, for me, I thought this was like an okay thing, you know, like especially like growing back, like growing up like back home. Sometimes like you see things that people would do, like I'm not saying back home, I'm talking like in my country and things like that. You see things that people would do and say, and you think, okay, that's normal, but it's not. It's literally not. Like you calling your wife names in public in front of people, that's not normal. It's not okay. That's like verbal abuse. You can't do that. Or like pushing her out of the way, like because you want to go and just like shoving her back, like that's not okay. And so I didn't know none of those things. And for me, it's like, oh, until somebody literally one day told me, Mima, you know this is, you know you're being abused, right? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm fine. And realizing, just sitting down and just being like, oh my goodness, like I had no idea until somebody told me this is not okay, literally. And I felt so stupid. I'm like, this is something I should have known. How did I not know that? But I just didn't. That's just what it was. And then so then I just felt so ashamed, just being like in a situation where it's just like, okay, oh my goodness, like why am I finding myself again in this situation? What's wrong with me? And things like that. And I was just kind of like, you know what? No, like enough is enough. Like I can't, like how, like if we just keep sitting down and then not speaking up and not saying, not talking, and then, you know, that's not gonna help. I'm like, well, if somebody helped me once, like I can also do that for someone else. Like, you know, I get that relationship are hard. People say, yeah, couples argue and things like that. I totally understand that, but there's a limit. There is literally a limit. There is like so many things that you can't just overlook. Like, it's okay to argue, but like when it comes to like disrespect, there's literally no respect. You're like not safe in your own home, you are scared to be there, or you're left on your own, like, you know, or you're cheated on. That's not okay. I don't care what anybody else says. That is not okay. And that's not like, you know, if your life is in danger, you run. If your life or the life of your kid is in danger, I don't care what anybody else tells you. You freaking, as fast as you can, get the hell out of there. Literally get out. Like, there's no, you know, like I've been told things like, you need to stay in your marriage for your baby's sake. Just stay there and pray. God is gonna do it. You know, marriage is forever. You don't break up. If you break up, you go to hell. I'm not kidding. I've gotten calls like this. Like, if you break up this marriage, you're gonna go to hell. You're losing your soul. Like, it's fine. You can just take it like a woman. Take it. You know, a woman, you're supposed to be strong. Oh my goodness. You know, hold it inside. Oh yeah, pray. Yo, I'm just like, this is crazy, but literally that's like things like that I've heard, and I'm just like, you know what? No, I have tried this. It does not work. You don't do that. You're not a freaking Messiah. You're not Jesus. Only Jesus, Lord, can change people like this. And what you gotta do is focus. And if you gotta save yourself or save your children, do. You know, some people change. I'm not blaming anybody. Some people would change, but maybe you just need to do that away from them, you know. And like, they need to do it away from you. Like, you can't just put your life at risk or life of your kids at risk. It's not okay. And there's no shame in trying, you know, your best to love somebody and try to have a family, and then things go down. It takes two to be in a marriage. If one person doesn't want to be in it, it's not gonna go anywhere. Like literally, you can't just fight for two. I couldn't fight for the both of us. Like I tried, but I'll do my best. But if somebody doesn't want to be, if somebody literally tells you, I miss my old life, I don't want this, what are you gonna do? Like, you just stay and then you keep getting stumped on. It's like having a snake in your purse and you're literally carrying this person. You're trying to get your keys and you're like, I don't care, snake, I don't care that you are in there, I'm gonna get my keys. Like, come on, what madness. Like literally, that's like not okay. At the end of the day, nobody's perfect. You try your best, you do your best. I know I've done my best, I know I've tried my best, I know I didn't just give up, and that's all you can do. You try your best, you do your best, and then when it comes to, you know, you gotta choose. Your life is important, the life of your kids or kid is important. And so I guess I just want to tell somebody out there that please don't be ashamed. If you are in a situation that is not good, that is not safe, that's not, just get out. Like, get help. If you can't get out right away, like I couldn't get out right away, I planned, you know, I just figure something out. Just stop planning and then figure yourself out and just save yourself. We're just doing life and we're just taking it day by day, one day at a time. But that was kind of like a little bit of like what went down. Again, I wasn't here to like talk bad about anybody. I don't have any beef with anybody. At the end of the day, I'm grateful that I'm still alive, I'm still here. I almost died, but God kept me. My baby's here, we're good, we're, you know, loving life sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard sometimes. I just like ugh. But you know, we're taking it day by day and then we're doing what we can do, and that's the only thing we can do in life. You can just do your best, just do the best that you can do, and that's just that. It's a little bit of my story, a little bit of what happened. If you have any questions, you can put them down in the comment below and I'll try and answer them, because I don't know if I've touched everything, but because I like talking, I talk a lot. So so yeah, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next video, right? Yes, I'll do a next video, hopefully more fun videos, not so sad videos. But thank you so much for being here. If you are new, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. And just remember, you are worth it and you're loved, and there is nothing that you can ever do for God to stop loving you the way he does, and that's all that matters. God is not done working in your life. One day at a time. Smile, put on some clothes. If you can, put on makeup. If you can't, don't do it like I'm not. I know I look crusty, but yeah, and then just show up. Like my dad always says, get up and show up, because that's what you can do at the end of the day. You just show up. So I love you all.